Three stories. The first one, I was 18 years old, 50 years ago. I was a kid, really, I didn't know much. And a friend and I were lent his mother's car. And we set off, we said we'd go to Istanbul. It took us a while. When we were in Greece, we were driving along the coast and there was Mount Olympos, great, wonderful mountain all on its own, high. You've got to go up it, haven't you? And after a while, this storm just came out of nowhere and ran into us. And there was a thunderclap. And normally there's a gap between the light of the lightning and the sound of the thunder, because that event is taking place quite a distance from you, not this time. It was so close that the sound of the thunder and the flash of the light were simultaneous. We weren't actually hit by lightning, but it can't have been more than 100 meters away. And at that instant, and we weren't expecting it, you know, everything was obliterated. I couldn't see, I couldn't hear. I lost my identity for a split second. And in that instant, I knew that I was unlimited. You know, an 18-year-old doesn't know much. It's taken me all my life since then to find out what that might mean. Second story, a couple of years earlier actually, when I was 16, the first time I ever left Britain, went to Paris. We went to the Louvre, looked at the Impressionist paintings. They're wonderful. Much better than anything that you can see in a reproduction, because you've got all the layers of paint, you've got all the details which no reproduction, however good, can ever capture. And you know, I was going along and looking at them and thinking, these are terrific. And I came across one, a still life by Cezanne, flowers in a pot. And one of those petals, as I looked at it, it was obvious that it was just a single dab of paint. He hadn't constructed it from a little bit of this and added a little bit of that colour and moved it down. He'd just taken his paintbrush with paint on the end of it and tapped it onto the canvas. So it was simultaneously a dab of paint and a petal. And I've never forgotten it. It was a revelation. It was a hit. Third story, a few days ago, we'd had terrible weather. It changed, it was warm, we'd had rain so the air was soft, the light was wonderful. I went out after breakfast, my wife had already gone to her studio, and as I walked into the air with its lovely, soft, luxurious feeling, I was filled with love for my wife, because she's like that. A hit. So you got three things. You got Zeus, the wielder of the thunderbolt. You got Cezanne, who's a painter, and you got my wife. And out of that, you can make a world. And that's what the hit does. It precipitates you into a world, and when it precipitates you into a world, the question that is being asked of you is, will you be true? And out of that comes the drama of our life.